This is a Niche Radio podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or log into www.nicheradio.co.za.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Trader Gang Money Matters. Alright, so this week we're going to be dealing with Forex. Specifically, I want to deal with the Forex industry and what's been happening there, as well as how to get into it and some of the, well, I won't highlight the intense strategies because that would, you have to enroll in one of the courses for Trader Gang in order to get that kind of information. But I'll definitely share as much as I can, and yeah, I hope you enjoy, guys. Okay, firstly, I get a lot of questions, still on how to get into Forex, but I think I should clarify some of the things. Firstly, we all know that Forex industry is $1 trillion market, and that basically means that trillions and trillions of rands are traded on there every single day. Okay, and obviously, just like any other market, I mentioned in, I think, the second podcast when I was discussing about parts of Forex, that you need to have your own investment philosophy. You need to know and your own investment style that basically fits everything that has to do with the kind of market you want to participate in. And one of the Trader Gang rules also is that you really have to know how to choose a broker, because what happens is, although it's illegal, some of the brokers, they trade against the clients. We've changed so many brokers over the years. It's ridiculous. Like we've went from South Africa to Cyprus to UK to the United States. We've literally been almost everywhere changing brokers, mainly because of, what some of these brokers are doing. Okay. And also, it's always good that you understand that, okay, in the Forex industry, markets are measured with PIP. That's price interest point. Okay. And this can be 0.01, 0.001, So the reason why I mention that is because with the broker specifically, what happens is that, you put a trade on, let's say you're on a live account, you use MetaTrader 4, which is the most popular platform in order to trade Forex specifically. And what happens is, you start on a negative. When you start on a negative, let's say your account is measured in dollars or pounds, then you start with negative $23, for example. That means that you're going to have to firstly recover the spread of that negative, and after that, maybe then you can be profitable. This makes it a challenge. This is why people blow accounts. This is why people don't understand that if they did all the research that they're supposed to be doing, how is it that they still, manage to blow their accounts? Well, it's because some of these brokers, not only are they trading against their own clients, but they also, start you on a negative. So even if the markets were going in your direction, let's say you were trading, the euro or the Swiss franc, it doesn't matter which pair. As long as you put the trade and it starts on a negative, that ultimately starts off with saying, okay, as I explained, that you have to recover that spread first. So you need to be careful on how you pick a broker, and also try to pick a broker that has, a very small spread. Obviously, you can be lucky and find brokers that start off on a zero. That means immediately when you place the trade, everything starts shooting up from there, if the market goes in the direction that you predicted it's going to go. So it's very important that you know how to pick your broker, okay? And also, do not engage in any revenge trades. That means, or even emotional trading is one of the things that also makes people blow their accounts. They blow their accounts because, you put a trade, then you see you're lucky, then you win, okay? Then another thing, you think, let me place another trade, then you don't stick to, let's say, maybe the target that if let's say I set a target of 100 pips a day, that's more than enough, okay? There's no need to try and get 5,000 or, although Trader Gang has gotten that amount in a day, but that's not the target, The target would be less pips that you can build over time and that you can keep consistent. So what happens is people start, the reason why I call it emotional trading is because let's say you put a trade, you lose, then you think, okay, let me place another one, then you lose, then you place another one until the whole account is blown, basically. That's emotional trading because you're gambling, basically. And in these markets, you don't want to gamble, trust me. You don't want to gamble because that's the quickest way to get you broke, And also another thing is you cannot put, let's say, 1,000 rand in your Forex account and think that you're going to make $1 million. You can't. It's impossible to make $1 million off 1,000 rand. If you have to think about it logically, it's truly impossible to do that, to push that kind of, profit with such a less account, And also do not engage in multiple trades. That's another way, the quickest way to blow your account. People think, okay, let me put, one trade in the euro pair, one trade in the ZAR pair, one trade in the USD against CAD, for example, and then they try to manage those multiple trades. If you're not sure of what you're doing, it becomes impossible to try and manage multiple trades, and that's another quickest way to blow in your account. Because God forbid if you place a trade, those multiple trades, and you don't realize that maybe the leverage that you're working with, or you don't realize that you're actually betting more than you have. It happens. Let's say you have $100 in the account, and then the money that you find yourself playing with, you end up being on a negative because of these multiple trades. So rather focus on one pair and master it, and know when to trade it. There's different times that you can trade different currencies. So find that out and try your best to stick to the rules, because if you try to reinvent the wheel, or you're trying to skip the basic rules of Forex trading or currency trading, then you are definitely going to be on a losing streak. There's nothing wrong with losing. I mean, I always say losses are necessary as long as they are associated with a technique to help you learn from them. It's true. The losses are necessary. But at the same time, you don't want to blow, 100,000 Rand account because you're being ignorant to the fact that you have to comply to certain rules. Okay? I hope that helps a bit, And also another thing is, you have to try your best to understand what you're doing. Technical analysis, as I said before, that it guides entries. So you need to study the charts and know when it's the right time to go in and when it's the right time to come out. If you don't know, in any strategy, I mean, these are discussed in boardrooms. If you're going to take a risk, especially in investments, you need to know how to get in and when you're going to get out. If you know that, then your path will definitely be clear, okay? And also, besides everything else that I've already discussed about Forex, you have to know different candlesticks. So in Forex, we use candlestick. And they're candles because, let's say, for example, you're trading with your phone. There will be one candle that's like white. I call it white because it's transparent, but depends on the kind of device that you're using to trade. And there's one that's black. So when it's opening, every time when the market moves, one candle opens and straight after the other one starts. Okay. So if you enroll in one of the courses in Trader Gang, we'll be able to teach you about these Japanese candlesticks and how to analyze them, what it's called when a candlestick opens but does not move and another one starts. You need to know how to read up those things. And also we use such mathematical equations such as Fibonacci sequence. It's always good to know about the Fibonacci's, and yes, it's good to trade using indicators and all of those things, but you need to know how to use them properly. You really, really need to know how to use them properly, and we can teach you all of that. Okay. The currency markets, it's not, and I repeat, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? You have to, sometimes it extends over a lifetime. I mean, I've been trading that market specifically for, 12 years now, I think. And you can check out Trader Gang's trading records, and some are available on request too. Just check out on our social media, and you'll definitely see how we've been performing as far as that, because we also post our losses. It's one thing to post all your wins, but you have to show people when you're struggling. When you're struggling and you're trying to keep up with the market, or the market goes opposite your direction, okay? But you always have to make sure that you do not, another thing, risk a huge percentage in your portfolio. So if they say you have $100, is it really worth it to risk, more than $30 of your account on one, or on in one day, or so you have to be wary of those kind of. But like I said, we can teach you all those things. I mean, we have courses that are specifically made for, firstly, people that are beginners. Secondly, people that know about the market, but they're just looking for strategies on how to become profitable. And thirdly, people that want the whole thing. People that want, from the beginning all the way up to the end. People that are trading with us. I mean, people that are like in our network, we have more than 100 people, in our trading network. And some of these people are from overseas. So we really have a network that's growing and would like you to be part of it. Just so we learn more about, how to trade and when to trade, what to do, and so forth.
For more, visit www.nicheradio.co.za.